What's going on, guys? Today I am back with another hat format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your hat format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to send those in. Anyways, the matchup I have for you today is Sylvan Spieler, who is going to be on Hero Hands, versus CRL, or I guess maybe Control, who is going to be on Cat. Opening hands, we see Hero Blast, Ice Hand, Solemn Warning, Pot of Duality, Dimensional Prison, and on the other side, we see Artifact Sanctum, Artifact Moraltech, Pot of Duality, Traptrix Mermail, and Call of the Haunted. It looks like they already did the Rock, Paper, Scissors, and it looks like Control is going to be starting this one, so they will get a draw for turn, getting another copy of Moraltech. Here they're going to activate Duality, showing Dark Hole, Call the Haunted, and Max C, taking the copy of Max C and shuffling the others back in. And let's see what they do. They go for Mermail, adding Bottomless to hand, and then I'm sure, yep, they are going to set all 5, okay, and pass it over to Sylvan here, who draws a copy of Neos Alias. They go for Duality, revealing Gemini Spark, Bottomless, and Firehand, taking the copy of Gemini Spark, which is a really cool card. If you've never seen it before, it says tribute 1 face-up level 4 Gemini monster, then target 1 card on the field, destroy it, and if you do, draw a card. So it's a really cool way to basically, if you have a Gemini monster like Neos Alias, you're able to basically bait some form of back row, maybe it's, say, attacking over a Mermail, and if they activate something that can then get rid of the Alias, you can just chain it, get rid of it, and draw a card. So really cool, and it also will pop another card your opponent controls, which is always nice. So here they normal the Alias, they say it's good, they go battle phase and attack, and here Sanctum is activated, summoning Beagletech. Beagletech effect, popping one of the Moraltech, so they're choosing not to get rid of both, just getting rid of one here, and they're going to use the effect of Moraltech, but it looks like they're going to Gemini Spark. This would have to be on, obviously, the summon of the Moraltech, or I guess the activation of the Moraltech, simply because this card does not target, so them targeting a little early there, but it was the only thing anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant. But here they are going to Gemini Spark, getting rid of the Alias and popping the Moraltech that was summoned and drawing a copy of Miracle Fusion. Main phase 2, they go and set 3 and pass it over to Control, who gets a copy of, I think that was the Dark Hole there, and goes to battle phase and attacks in. Back over to Sylvan, who gets a copy of Emergency Call, normal summons Ice Hand, attacks into Mermail, takes a little damage, and is going to pop the Bottomless and summon a Firehand. They go main phase 2. Interesting. I wonder why they, without any sort of hand knowledge or anything, they wouldn't just crash these and then pop this and summon another Ice Hand and get in for some damage. That kind of feels like a bit of a weird play there, like almost a little overly cautious. I don't know, I guess interesting. I don't think they knew about the Max C there. I'm pretty sure they didn't take the Max C off of the Duality, did they? No, either way, they would have had to drop it earlier. So yeah, kind of weird to see that, I guess. But alrighty. It looks like Control draws a Call the Haunted, switches Mermail to defense, sets 1, and goes to end phase. Here, Hero Blast is activated. That says target a elemental hero normal monster in your graveyard. Add that target to your hand. Then, if your opponent controls a monster with attack less than or equal to the target's attack, destroy one of those. So basically, you're able to, here, they're going to add back the Alias, and then they'll be able to pop the Beagletech here because it only has 1400 attack, drawing, I believe that was another Emergency Call for turn. Activating it, getting another copy of Alias, normal Alias. Here they go battle phase, Firehand over the Mermail, attack with the Alias. Here Call the Haunted's activated. They say it's good. Moraltech summon, Moraltech effect, popping the Alias. Unfortunately, no Gemini Spark there, and it looks like they're going to go in end the turn there, okay? Here, Control gets a copy of Double Cyclone, activates Max C, and attacks with the Moraltech, but that is met with the Dimensional Prison, so kind of wasted a Max C there and lost their monster. Here, it looks like Sylvan drew a Hero Blast, so they are on multiple Hero Blasts. So that's cool to see. Also, what, they normaled the Alias there, I believe? and they just go battle phase. Attack in with both. It looks like Call the Haunted here is activated, but that is met with warning, so they can't bring back that Beagle Tack. And they set the Hero Blast and pass turn. Here, Control gets a copy of Moral Tack, activates Dark Hole, sets the Double Cyclone and Moral Tack. Back over to Sylvan, who gets a copy of Compulse. They activate the set E Emergency Call to add, was that the third alias now? Yes it is. So now they summon the alias, go battle phase, attack. They say start a battle phase, they use Double Cyclone, and they chain the Hero Blast, adding back alias. That unfortunately can't pop anything, there was no monsters or anything, but Moral Tack then will be summoned on a new chain, and that effect will pop the alias. Main phase 2, they go Miracle Fusion. It looks like they got rid of the 2 alias to go for a copy of the Shining, which will gain a little bit of attack here. And then they set 1 here, back to Control, gets another copy of Double Cyclone. They're going to set it and pass. Here, Sylvan gets a copy of Torrential, goes battle phase, attacks in, but it looks like the Double Cyclone's going to be activated in the battle phase. Trying to hit the back row, but that is a bottomless that can be chained. They're still going to hit a Moral Tack, unfortunately, there. And so Moral Tack is summoned using its effect to hit the Shining. And the Shining will activate, and it has the ability that when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target up to 2 of your banished elemental hero monsters, add those targets to your hand. So they're going to get back both copies of Alias here, which is going to, they had all 3 in hand. Give them some monsters to at least defend here, which they're going to go and set 1 of them and pass it over. Maybe bluffing a hand or something after that. Control gets a copy of Soul Charge. That's very strong. They're going to activate the Soul Charge, bringing back Beagle Tack Mermail. Alrighty, but that is met with the Torrential, so board state is very simplified here. And Sylvan got a copy of Duality off the top, very good, revealing Mind Control, Miracle Fusion, and Miracle Fusion. So taking the copy of Miracle Fusion for the follow-up turn, shuffling the others back, summon Alias and push in, and Alias has a decent amount of attack, 1900, passing it back over to Control, who gets a copy of Breakthrough. And yeah, that is the end of game number 1. Moving into game number 2, Control will get to start this one out yet again. Opening hands, we see Miracle Fusion, Crusader of Endymion. This is usually played because it's another target for your Gemini Sparks, because this is another Gemini monster. It also has 1900 attack, so it's pretty nice. Some people like this, some people don't. The one downside, I guess, is it's a spellcaster, so it's not searchable off of, say, something like Rhoda, but, it is another big body, which is kind of nice. And then this one, for its Gemini effect, is once per turn, you can target 1 face-up card on the field that you can place a spell counter on, place 1 spell counter on it, and if you do, this card gains 600 attack until the end of this turn. I don't know how often that actually comes up, more so than, just using it for a Gemini Spark. But anyways, they also have a Fire and Ice hand and a Skill Drain. On the other side, we see Ignition, Call the Haunted, Wiretap, Card D, and Beagle Tack. And again, they do get to draw for turn here, getting a copy of Dianea. So hand isn't terrible. Actually, seeing Ignition plus Beagle Tack is very strong. And having a Card as well to get more draws is actually very good. So here they're just going to set 4, go for Card, use the effect of Card, drawing Duality and Call the Haunted over to Sylvan, who gets a copy of Rhoda, activates Rhoda, gets Alias to hand. Then they summon Alias, go battle phase. Ignition is activated, hitting the Beagle Tack, setting a Moral Tack. Beagle Tack summons back, effect, hitting the Moral Tack, summoning back. Using the Moral Tack effect, popping the Alias, and it looks like main phase 2, they set Skill Drain and pass. Here, Control gets a copy of Mermail, very good draw, especially when you have Dianea. And they summon the Mermail, Skill Drain is chained, but they have the Wiretap, which is good, so they are going to get to add the Bottomless here, switching the Beagle Tack to attack. And attacking in for quite a lot of damage here. And main phase 2, oh, they go Duality. Interesting. I feel like Duality might not have been the right play there, honestly. I feel like, why would you not just go for rank 5? You're not in any, if you look at their life, they're at 1900. you have another Call the Haunted and a Bottomless here. So, most of the monsters you've seen so far have either been fire or ice hands or like something else. So, like if you went for Pleiades here, then you have the Bottomless if it's something over 1900. You would have, if it's something under, you'd probably be able to go and use the Pleiades effect, bounce something, and then you can call the Haunted back, the artifact, say the Moral Tech, and be able to pop another card. And, even if they out something at that point, you have the other Call the Haunted. I don't know. I feel like Duality is just a little too safe there. But here they find another Soul Charge, a Moral Tech, and a card D. Then they set the 2 back row and pass. Here, Sylvan, forgot to shuffle, it says, and draws a Gemini Spark for turn. Here, normal summoning Ice Hand, going battle phase, crashing with the Beagle Tech, Ice Hand effect, popping the Bottomless, summoning a Fire Hand, attacking into the Mermail. Yeah, that's just another reason that the attack stats line up. So then the Fire Hand will get destroyed. It'll pop the Moral Tech here and summon an Ice Hand. Here they're summoning it in defense just to play it safe. Main phase 2. I don't know why it still says battle phase. I'm assuming this is main phase 2. They're going to go for Miracle Fusion to go for Absolute 0. Passing it over to Control, who gets a copy of Call the Haunted. Normal summons the Dionea. Uses the effect, summons Mermail. Overlays for Heartland Draco. Oh, and they can just attack for game. So even with that weird play, they still do end up getting to take that game. So it looks like moving on to game number 3, and Sylvan will be starting this one out. Opening hands, we see Miracle Fusion, DD Crow, Duality, Ice Hand, DD Crow. On the other side, we see Compulse, Sanctum, Mermail, the Transmigration Prophecy, and Solemn Warning. Honestly, very good hands from both players, so this should be interesting. Drawing a copy of Gemini Spark for turn, very good. Activating Duality, finding... Oh, they take Duality. Duality for Duality, that's always a fun time. And they set the Ice Hand and set a Bluff Duality. And back over to Control now, who draws a copy of Mind Control. That's very good, especially with this Mermail. Summon Mermail, add Bottomless. Mind Control, take the Ice Hand, flip it, overlay into a copy of Honor Arc, and attack in. Just trying to play around some back row and stuff, I'm sure, since, this has its own protection. So doing some damage and then setting 5 back row. Going to be very tough to play through. Here, Sylvan gets a copy of Skill Drain, activates Duality, finding a Fire Hand, Wiretap, and DD Crow, and taking the Fire Hand. Next, they set the Fire Hand and set 3 back row, and over to Control, who gets a copy of Debunk. They go battle phase, attack in. Here, the Skill Drain is activated. Fire Hand can then activate, but that is met with the warning. And why are they attacking in again? I don't think they meant to do that. Yep, and then main phase 2, set the Debunk and pass. Here, someone gets another Duality. Is that all 3 Dualities? Yeah, it is. Okay, and finally getting a E-Call here so they can add a copy of Alias. So they're going to normal it. Bottomless is activated, chaining Gemini Spark. So this is a good example. And then they'll be able to pop another card here. So they're popping the Arc. Oh, but they're chaining the Compulse. Wait. Oh, okay. I guess they were just like trying to resolve it there. So anyways, the 101 left. So Sylvan will get a draw here off the Gemini Spark. Or will it? That's possible. Anyways, they draw into a Ice Hand, activate Miracle Fusion. Transmigration Prophecy is activated, so it's going to shuffle back 2. So they're going to choose to shuffle back the hero monster on the Ice Hand, which makes so if they did have other heroes, say, in hand or something, that, it's unfortunate because they won't be able to use this. This specifically has to get rid of the materials from, I believe it's Field and Grave. Yeah, so not having any more here is unfortunate, and luckily none on field, or maybe not luckily, honestly, since you probably really want to get that monster in. But here they can summon an Ice Hand and attack in. Over to Control, who gets a copy of Duality, and they take the Call the Haunted. All right. Under Skill Drain, it's really tough to play through for a lot of decks. Here they set the Call the Haunted. Anyway, Sylvan draws a wiretap for turn, goes battle phase, attacks in. Call the Haunted is activated. DD Crow is activated. Choosing not to use debunk. They have double debunk and they're just not using it here. Okay. Interesting play, I guess. Setting 1 here, control gets a copy of card D, which they can still activate under skill drain because it will tribute for cost. Drawing double Cyclone and Ignition, that's very good. Here, Sylvan gets a copy of Alias, summons it, and attacks in. Here, Sanctum is activated, but that is met with Wiretap. And this might just be game. Yeah, it is, actually, because the other two are double debunk, right? Yeah, so Sylvan ends up taking that one. Control should have probably used that debunk. I don't think there was anything stopping them from using it. Not that I see here. It's not like anything was stopping banishing. Yeah, okay. I don't really know what happened there. Maybe they didn't know the rulings on like DD Crow since it activates in hand, discards for cost. So that definitely could have been it. But anyways, still a really cool match. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on this video, comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.